Hi everyone. So we're gonna be doing an Adventure and Asteroids. Apparently, it's gonna be really interesting on how, because I have played both of these games and I've never beat. Is an arcade game; it never ends. But I've never actually beat Adventure because I always get stuck on something. I always get lost. So yeah, because you're already doing it. Okay, so let's do this. Adventure was released on 1979. It was developed by Atari, and it's an adventure game. So all the early adventure games on home computers were purely text-based. So that's kind of fucking boring. Players would type in commands such as go north, go drink potions, throw rock, kill snake, and subsequently by be rewarded with a paragraph of or two informing them of just how their plan had played out. Wow, man, 1979, man. Computer games sucked back in the day. All it was fucking text. That's boring as shit. You needed to you wanted to just how their plan played out. You needed a keyboard to make them work properly. Well, of course, no shit. In other words, unless you were a fan of computer fonts or you're a fucking reading junkie like I'm not, there wasn't much in the way of a spectacle along the way. Everything relied on imagination. I watched too much SpongeBob when I was a kid. Fuck. Okay, a dangerous foundation in which to build a business. Okay, since I don't need to, I can scroll this down. In 1979, however, all that changed when Atari effectually ported Will Crofner's legendary text adventure Col- Colosseum Colossal Cave Adventures. I have no idea what that game is. Never played it. To its VCS home console. That's what they call it now. Really? That's fucked up. Somewhat basic graphics replaced the time worn pros. The VCS's controller stood for the keyboard. Yeah, it's just one button and a joystick. Whoop de fucking do. And a rather primitive but wonderfully oh, vigado. I have no idea what that word is. Fuck. Uh, Vigo to the. Someone's gonna roast me in the comment section saying, "You don't know how to fucking pronounce that word, bitch." Okay, gender took its first baby steps towards the elaborate and florid fantasy world available to today's players. Yeah, it's just a programming marvel at the time. The game it fit into the space of just 4K. By the way, in comparison, the standard Google logo takes up 8K. Okay, why you have to point that out? But whatever. Adventure also provided the gaming world with one of the first Easter eggs. Designer Warren Robinett thinks of his years of anonymous toll spent at the coral face of game production hide his name within one of the game's rooms. Really? I didn't know that. I never got that far. I always ended up fucking dying before I even get to the fucking ending. But yeah, a chamber that could only be opened by using a single pixel key known as the dot. Okay, it's just a dot. Sniff stiff as the challenge was, and the reward. It wasn't long before someone had discovered the secret and told everyone about it. There's proof. Yeah, YouTube. Proof that even in the early days of the genre, adventure games were already capable of generating all real devotions in their audiences. That some things that never change. Okay, that makes no sense. So I have played Adventure. I always got ended up fucking dying, and I could never figure out how to fucking play the game. Even though it's kind of fucking simple because it's on a fucking joystick and Atari only had a joystick and one fucking button. But I could never figure it out what the fuck to do in that game. It drove me fucking nuts. But you know what? It happens. Okay, so next up is Asteroids. I barely vague playing it, but I do remember playing it. Games these days tend to have complex stories. Yes, we already noticed this. Three-dimensional characters and rousing near cinematic soundtracks. They sound they start with a bang, pace themselves carefully for a big finale, final, okay, and leave you wanting more. Generally even teasing a sequel as the fireworks dies down. They have an epic drama, decent performances, and elaborate and detailed worlds. Asteroids doesn't, and never did. Asteroids has boulders, unforgiving physics, and very little else. And yes, you play as a triangle. Where's Doom when you need it? Despite such ambitious and I don't know how to pronounce that word. Fuck. In ambitious, I think it's called, details, Atari's coin-op champion remains more than just a dusty curry today. At the time of release, the sharp laser edged vector vessel and frantic rock blasting explosions made it quite the looker. Yeah, sure. It's pretty addicting. I'm just trying to destroy rocks in outer space, and there's more rocks, and when you blow it up, it goes into less rocks. And it's proved rather timeless in its simple city, blanking out of a screen in the 21st century with a sense of stripped back assurance. A lot of modern games have tried unsuccessfully to emulate. Oh, wow, really? Well, that's bullshit. More importantly, though, is the quantity of the game play itself. Asteroids is still good. The sweaty half hour as blast chunks of space matter into shrapnel, dodge the oncoming debris by boosting cautiously around the screen. You know what? Ever since I started doing these videos, I've noticed how my English kind of fucking sucks, which is kind of sad, really. And lie in wait for the point heavy flying saucer that twitters through the mayhem every so often, just itching to be blown into pieces. A stark, high scoring compulsion. Asteroids is a lot smarter than it looks. Veteran Atari developer Ed Long was something of a perfectionist, paying attention to everything from the heart heft of the game's physics to the particular memorable leaderboard font, and his craftsmanship shown in every I don't even know what that word is. I can't see shit of the game. Facet of the game itself. These rocks may be made from nothing but light, even known, but even now they remain entirely capable of bowling you over. So pretty much, I have played Adventure. Never could beat it though. I thought it was really interesting. But Adventure was like one of those games where I always got lost and then I get killed by this fucking red thing that's on the screen where you see it. Asteroids was more of a fun play arcade game where you just blow up rocks and see how far you can get. It's pretty much your standard type of thing. I played Asteroids and it's really fun. It's really addicting too. Asteroids is really addicting. I wasn't really fond of Adventure, although I did play it though. But it's just like I like Asteroids. Adventure was good, but it wasn't for me. So yeah. But Asteroids, if you want a mindless game, play Asteroids because you'll be mindless and trying to blow up every rock. So what are the next two games? Okay, so we got Galaxy and Lunar Lander. I have played the first one, Galagan. I don't know about Lander Lunar until I figure out what picture is, because the picture is the first one, which is 1979. We're still in the arcades, which kind of sad, really. But I hope you guys have a nice positive day, and the next one is going to be the other two, fucking bullshit. So yeah, I'll explain the Galagan. I don't know about Lunar Lander. Never played Lunar Lander, but we'll do that in the next video. So I hope you guys have a nice positive day and always stay positive. Or stay optimistic. I should switch it up a bit.